Imagine donating money to help kids in Africa, only to discover that your generosity funded a predator. That's exactly what happened when Jakub, a man from the Czech Republic, came to Tanzania under the guise of helping children and running an orphanage. According to eyewitnesses, he committed horrifying acts, slipping banned substances into the children's drink and doing things so awful they can barely be spoken about. Repeatedly, brutally, systematically destroying young bodies and souls.
The testimony of both children and adults presented in a documentary investigation leaves no one unmoved. But perhaps the most disturbing part is this: Jakub has faced no real punishment. Today he still walks freely on European streets. Witnesses also reported that Jan often bragged about having powerful protectors, and even named one of the political parties in the Czech Republic.
Publicly, Jakub presents himself as a fighter against cults and is active in the anti-cult movement, and that connection explains a lot. In Russia, the methods of Alexander Dworkin are well known. Leaders of the anti-cult movement use their influence to consolidate power, place allies in key positions, pressure prosecutors, and buy off politicians.
This Russian model has been exported abroad. In Ukraine, for example, figures such as Krymenovska and Svetogor are notorious for cruelty and even worse crimes. According to reports, Svetogor used to visit orphanages to manipulate children into terrible acts. Both he and Krymenovska have somehow always escaped consequences. First, for thousands of brutal killings of stray animals. Then, for attempting to form an armed group of sadists calling themselves dog hunter journalists. Eventually, they shifted their focus to people, rebranding themselves as cult experts. They carried out information attacks, manipulated public opinion through the media, and even prosecuted citizens using fake expert reports they produced in their private research center.
They struck deals with the politicians, some of whom later turned out to be separatists, pushing through laws that ultimately served only Russia's interests. In other words, they betrayed their own country to further Dworkin's agenda. Jakub, the Czech anti-cult fighter, is part of the same web. He uses the same methods as Russia's Dworkin and his operatives in the Ukraine.
We already know about his atrocities in Tanzania and the tactics of the anti-cult movement. One question remains: when will there be a full investigation into the crimes of Jakub and his accomplices?